Hi everyone, welcome to the Knit Shift episode 74. My name is Lara and today is Sunday, November 13th, 2016. Welcome, thank you so much for checking out my podcast today, whether you are a new or returning viewer. This is my podcast about my crafty, knitting, yarny life in Norfolk, Virginia. I am a journalist and I live in an apartment with my dog Gracie, my boyfriend Josh, and a lot of yarn. So thank you so much for joining me today. We're having a beautiful fall day here. I feel like the weather has finally turned into fall, and Josh and I took Gracie for a really nice walk. I can't say the word because the dog is sitting 2 seats to my right. Show notes can be found at theknitshift.com. This episode will be embedded at that website, and it is available on iTunes and YouTube, and I would love it if you subscribed in either location. I'm on Ravelry as Yarnstormer. I'm on Instagram as Laura Michalski, and we do have a group for the podcast over on Ravelry. If you go to the Groups tab and search for The Knit Shift, you will find us. We just had a knit-along wrap-up. It was the Fall Shawl Knit-Along, and both prize winners have been in touch, and their packages have been mailed. So, ladies, if you haven't received your mail, by the time you see this, you will any minute, because I think I mailed the stuff on Thursday. So I wanted to say thank you so much for your kind words on my last episode. Episode 73, I shared the news that I am getting a baby niece. My brother and sister-in-law are expecting, and I am so excited to knit girly things. Not that I wouldn't be excited to knit boy things too, but I'm really excited to just know and actually knit some things knowing that it's a baby girl. So I'm looking forward to that, and many of you said congratulations, so thank you for that. And thank you for understanding why I filmed such an abbreviated episode. It's been a really crazy few weeks in journalism, in the world at large, of course, but especially in the journalism field. And I've just been really preoccupied with the election and everything that's been going on, both locally and nationally. And I had a lot to do with our local coverage of local election stuff. So it's just been really busy, and knitting has not been a priority, and in the past couple days I finally feel like it is again, which is great. Because of my work, I cannot really talk a lot about politics, obviously. I will just say that it will be an interesting few years in the United States, and I really hope that the country can find some things to unite over, and that both sides can learn to understand where the other is coming from. I cannot stand for any oppression of people that I see in my day-to-day life. I cannot stand for that. And some of the rhetoric has been really divisive. And that's all I'll say about politics here, because that's not what you're here to hear about. But I've been really looking forward to getting back to podcasting and knitting in general. I've been knitting here and there, but it really hasn't been a lot. But I do have one work in progress to share with you this week. So let's get to it, shall we? The only work in progress I have for you this week is my sock yarn blanket. I can't say that it's finished, but I'm done with the knitting portion of it. I finished the blanket, the number of squares. There are no more squares to add. I've started crocheting a border, which is what makes it still a work in progress. This blanket has 181 squares. The rows are 10 diamonds wide or 9 diamonds wide, and it adds up to 181 squares. This is a small blanket. This is meant to kind of be a car seat blanket, just something to toss over the bottom of the car seat when my brother and sister-in-law are out and about. And I've been working on this for almost 4 years. I started this in January 2013, I'm almost certain, and it's finally done. It's been a little while since I showed you some squares, so I think I'll go through the top two rows, or the top 19 squares. This was a gift from Sylvia, who is a podcast viewer who I met up with when she was in Virginia Beach, and she brought me some minis. This is from my friend Hazel, this kind of a camo green. She dyes yarn and sells it on Etsy, or she used to at least, And I knit my brother a pair of socks out of this yarn, and he wore them when he was deployed, which is extra special. I don't know what this is, but I really like it. Not sure what this one is. Probably a swap from a friend. Not sure what this is. I'm not being very helpful. This is Periwinkle Sheep, 11 Ways to Dry a Chili Pepper. Not sure what this is, but I think it might have some alpaca in it, or it's just a really woolly wool. This is some self-patterning yarn from, I believe, my buddy Casey, who has the Knits Enough video update and blog. This was a gift from Wanda, who I will talk about in a little bit, but she sent me some minis. This is also Periwinkle Sheep in the, oh gosh, a colorway called like Thunderstorm, but I knit a baby sweater for my niece out of this. This is Query Fiber. I got this from Casey. It was really lovely to work with, and I think it's fantastic. This is Miss Babs, Yummy 2-ply, I believe, in the SAF 2015 colorway. Not sure what this is, but it's a really nice hardy sock wool. Not sure what this is, but it's definitely Socks That Rock lightweight. Really not sure what this is. This is also Socks That Rock. This is also Socks That Rock. This is from my sock blank from, it was my curse word sock blank, and I'm blanking on the dyer's name. This is the last one, and again, I don't know what that is, so I'm probably like 1 out of batting 300. I remember 1 out of 3 squares in the final 2 rows, but I've been really fortunate to have a lot of friends mail me minis as this project progressed throughout the years. I have a lot of leftover sock yarn, and this is not the last scrappy project for me. I do have plans for other ones, which I'll talk about down the road. The ends are woven in on this. On the back, I'll show you. So that I did it as I went. So every row or 2, I would weave in the ends, which helped a ton. And then what I'm doing right now is I'm crocheting a border. You might have seen this as I was identifying some squares. I'm crocheting a border right now. This is just single crochet. I'm using a Clover 3.75 millimeter hook. It's kind of stuck in my yarn cake right now. Here, I'll pull it out. It's a Clover 3.75 hook. I'm really loving this. It's one of those soft touch ones. This pad is a little soft, and that does make a difference when you are crocheting a lot. It took me almost a week to do the first trip around the blanket, and it took about 10 grams of yarn. This yarn that I'm using for the border is Jill Draper Esopus. I'm afraid I don't remember the colorway name, but it's in my Ravelry stash, and I will try and include it in the show notes. But I have 2 skeins of it from different dye lots, but I don't think I'll use more than half of this. So I'm not looking to make a really large border, just probably 2 to 3 rows to kind of give these blocks a little bit of an anchor so that they hopefully lay a little bit flatter. Just doing single crochet, nothing fancy. I'm not even doing decreases at the base and then increases at the top. It's just straight up single crochet, essentially. I wanted the edge to be gender neutral because, again, if they have more children, I didn't want to just default to a pink edge. So this is the kind of blanket I hope they get a little bit out of use out of it, because it did take a little while. It's a good size to just throw it on the ground for the baby and lay them down there, that kind of stuff. So it's nice. I like having it all folded up, and you know, it's amazing. This is definitely the longest term project I have, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm looking forward to finishing it. And that will be a gift for the baby shower. And that's my only work in progress. I did make some progress on my mom's Christmas gift, but I'm not going to share it this week because if you have been watching what it is, it's still going, so there's not much more to show right now. I haven't talked too much about future knitting because I've been so focused on the blanket and so focused on my mom's Christmas gift. I really want to cast on a pair of Christmas socks for myself. I have 2 or 3 skeins of Christmas yarn in my stash, and I'm dying to cast one on. I think I might cast it on Thanksgiving. I am off on Thanksgiving, so I am cooking too. I'm cooking a small meal for just Josh and myself, and we're having a family Thanksgiving on the Sunday before Thanksgiving with my aunt who lives nearby and her 3 kids, so that'll be fun. But I do want to cook a small meal for Josh and me because I just like having, you know, a traditional Thanksgiving meal. So I think I'll probably make a little tiny ham, have some mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, probably roast some broccoli, and call it a day. And we'll have peach cobbler because that's Josh's favorite dessert. So that'll be fun. Anyway, I will probably cast on a pair of socks that day when I'm done cooking and done eating. And then I do want to cast on something girly for my niece because now that I know she's a girl, I really want to cast on something cute. So I don't know, maybe I'll try for an Elizabeth Zimmerman not baby surprise, February baby sweater with a lacy bottom. I've never made one of those. Maybe I'll just make a straight up cardigan. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm really excited to make something else for her. And that brings us to spinning. And I don't have spinning progress to share with you, but if you watched 2 episodes ago where I spoke about going to SAF with my friends, and I tried out some spinning wheels at the Woolery, and I found that I really enjoyed the Ashford Traditional. I've been monitoring some for sale sites around the web, and I found someone who is in Connecticut who's selling her wheel, and it's the Ashford Traditional, and she's in Connecticut, and Josh and I will be in New York City in a month for a little trip to celebrate his college graduation. Josh is on board, and the wheel's owner is on board with us waiting until then to pick it up. It will require an extra 4 to 5 hours of travel out of our way from New York City, but Josh is on board, so he's really supportive of it, which is great. But she's selling it at a good price, and it will save a lot of money to buy it used. And then if I really am into spinning, maybe I explore other wheels. I could buy one brand new, but it's just so much more cost effective to buy a used wheel. So I'm really excited about it. I wanted to talk about a little bit of Yarms today. I didn't do any shopping, but I received a lovely package in the mail from Wanda, who watches this podcast. And Wanda wanted to mail me something, and I was totally blown away. It made my week, building up to the election and craziness at work. It was so sweet to get that package. So thank you, Wanda. She sent me a beautiful card and wrote a lovely note. And one of these skeins of yarn is for me, and one of these is for one of you. This is yarn from her local yarn shop. It's Wonderland Yarns, and it's sock fingering weight, and it's 512 yards for 4 ounces. So this would be great for a shawl. This colorway is called Cheshire Cat, and it's super soft and squishy merino. This Wonderland Yarns is dyed by Frabjous Fibers, dyed and spun in the US. And there's definitely an Alice in Wonderland theme. It's Cheshire Cat, Pigments of Imagination, and I believe Frabjous that's a Lewis Carroll word from one of his books, and there's a Lewis Carroll quote on the label. And then the other skein of yarn is Curtsy. Oh, I'm sorry. Cheshire Cat is the weight of the yarn. This colorway is Wise Fish. This is also Cheshire Cat yarn, the base, and this colorway is called Curtsy. And it's this lovely cream with pinks and browns and sage green and bright blues, and it's just really, really pretty. And they're so soft and squishy, and I don't know which one I will keep and which one I will give away. But Wanda, thank you so much. She also included some minis, which are already in my mini stash on the other side of the room. Thank you so much, Wanda. It was very generous of you, and I will definitely save one of these for either just a straight up giveaway or a prize for a knit along. I think that's everything I wanted to talk to you about. I hope if you're in the US, you're dealing with the results of the election okay. It's a difficult time. There's a lot of divisiveness in the country. And while I can't really talk about that stuff a whole lot on this podcast, I hope I can bring a little bit of joy to your life in a non-politics fashion and give you a little break from all of that stuff. So thank you. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. It was really nice to be back to podcasting like normal this week. I hope to keep it up over the holidays. Last December, I traveled a lot and I prepared some stuff in advance. This December, the only travel I have planned is to New York for 3 nights, so I should be able to record mostly as normal. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great week. Happy knitting and crocheting, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.